I'm going to draw this. I'm going to draw this closer to me, like a spider to a fly.
You've got the look.
I do. I have got a full abdomen filled with eggs.
Jesus.
Like a daddy long legs.
It's
skinny legs.
It's 10 in the morning.
Skinny legs, round body.
Oh, welcome.
It's peeing down outside.
It is.
It's Dundee weather.
Well, you say that, but and this is everyone that listens to this, they go, "There's always rain in Scotland." It doesn't rain in Dundee
I can't
much.
understand because we have the look. We've kind of got that bronzed look.
We the
like
beach
we've just
look.
stepped out of Bondi Beach.
That's us.
Bondage Beach is more kind of thing.
God.
Just wrapped
Do you
head to
remember
toe in
when
gaffer tape.
Dundee was number 1 in the world for finding syringes on the beach? In the world.
That's
More than
wonderful.
it. They used to go down and you'd see kids making little castles out
Oh,
of them.
wonderful.
It was horrible.
But they'd find like a condom with 10 syringes crammed into it. It's a Dundee sausage.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Spicy. I prefer just a bit thyme in my pork mince.
Oh, dear.
The Dundonians.
At my last work, it was called Auto Rent in Dundee.
Wonderful.
It was a rubbish
And was
car
that when you were
rental
the
place.
rent boy for a while?
I was a rent boy. And
You were the fluffer for
outside
Dundee's
it,
rent boy community.
fluffer. And outside it, there was an old 70s concrete plant pot. You know, one of the big, huge ones.
Oh, I know the ones.
Right. If you rub against it, you cut yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
It's got Chuckies embedded in it.
every 3 months I had to go out with a big grabber, gloves on, and extract all the syringes because they would just poke them in it. And there was literally hundreds of them.
So considerate.
Hundreds.
I used to live in a flat in the Junkies. There was a kind of back door bit from the closey, and the Junkies used to sit there and inject themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm ashamed to say it, but I used to pour buckets of boiling water on them. But we were on the 5th floor, so like hot rain used to land on them.
Oh,
But they had no idea.
No clue.
They wouldn't have feel it. One of my mates, he came back to his flat one day and there was a lassie lying on his doorstep with a syringe hanging out her fanny.
Oh.
Hanging out her fanny.
Oh my God. Oh, I hate when girls do that. It puts me off.
It does.
Oh.
Now, didn't it put him off though?
No.
They're married now.
Oh, wonderful.
It's a romantic story.
I love when things end like that.
Dundee
For
romance.
fuck's sake. No, I had a junkie on my stairs years ago.
Oh,
and
they're
he
always
still had the syringe in his arm.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
you know when the blood comes out, it's like water. It's just so thin.
Oh, yeah.
So he's there.
It's like
and
weak tea.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, get the fuck off my stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And he stood up and he went to say something, but he just tipped. Hit his head. Now I've got the old iron railings. But when he hit his head off the railing snapped off its pin. And he lay unconscious. I went, I've just killed him.
Just leave him.
So I went in the house and said, look, there's someone, it looks like a junkie unconscious in my stairs. So the police came around. But they were used to junkies, so they had the gloves on and their sticks were out. They were ready to come around the corner for a junkie. They were so prepared. A couple of women, and they saw him. And he went, oh, and they went, come on, get up. Oh, I've hit my head. No, you've not. On you go. So they just pushed them down the road. They just went, on you go.
Bloody.
You probably went around the corner and died.
I told you the time I saw the junkie eating a trifle. He shoplifted the trifle out of the copy and he dropped it in the custard, the trifle and everything, all over the place. And he was eating it and there was Chuckies in it. And I could hear it. Well, he didn't have teeth.
Yeah.
It was just crunching on his gum.
This brings me to my story of the week.
Okay.
2 days ago, I went and got my lunch out at the Co-op.
You call it a lunch.
It's it was a ploughman's sandwich.
Food delivery system.
Yes. Yeah.
You might as well get a tube. It just goes directly into your
Doritos
stomach.
crisps and a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Eat the sandwich, fine. Then there was someone coming up, a customer, so I had to rush. So I grabbed some Doritos, popped them in my mouth, swallowed a bit, and went, what the fuck? Looked in it. I think it was a mouse. Right? And I went, oh fuck, right? So the stink was terrible. So I threw it away. And then about half an hour later, it hit me, and I was lying in here. It's trying not to throw up.
A whole mouse?
No, just it was like a flat bit. It looked like a hip.
You should.
It was rotten.
When I was a kid,
Or rotten.
Yeah, you could have gotten the. Oh, that's compo right there.
Yeah.
The when I was a wee kid, I ate a brandy snap and there was a shard of glass in it,
Holy shit.
and I cut my mouth, and my family were like, "Oh well, just pick that bit off and keep eating."
Yeah,
Again,
yeah, that's the way
nobody
it was.
complained back then.
Well, everyone was shouting at me that I should have
You
complained.
should have.
But I came back in the next day
Mm-hmm.
and I could smell it, and I was going to
A
throw up.
mouse.
So I got it all thrown out.
The-
I just couldn't deal with it.
I remember a story of the guy bought a box of Kellogg's cornflakes,
Okay.
and he opened it. There was a live mouse in it. So the mouse had fallen into a full bag, been sealed in, and it had just casually eaten its way down through the cornflakes. But for example, KFC, they often get people claiming, "Oh, I've found a bit of rat in their KFC."
Yeah.
But they obviously have got a lab of people, and a guy claimed to have found a rat, but they discovered it was a domesticated rat.
Right.
So they can tell. It's like the factories, when I worked for the shortbread, they have a piece of everything in their factory.
Okay.
So they can tell if somebody says, "Oh, I found such and such, a roof tile, a bit of roof tile,"
Yeah.
they can say, "No."
Yeah.
It's a serious business.
I can imagine it is,
Yeah.
but this was
That was about
and because Doritos
Are you
the
sure it was mouse?
this-
Could it not have been finger?
it could have been a
Would
finger.
you
It could have
rather-
been human. I've just said
Would-
mouse. I don't know.
Yeah. Would you rather
was
eat
meat.
Would you rather eat a mouse or a human finger
Oh.
if it was cooked? Because it was
The
cooked.
human finger
The
would probably
human
be
finger.
safer.
Yeah.
But the problem here is I have only been a vegetarian for 2 days now.
Now you've got the taste.
Yeah.
Once you taste flesh,
It doesn't taste good. This was, you know what it was? It was like a wet tea bag
Jesus,
consistency. Very thin, wet tea bag.
like a
and-
squeezed tea bag,
Yeah.
like a Tolland man.
Yes.
Those
And-
the bog bodied.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's exactly what it was like. But the smell.
Human flesh. The cannibals used to call us long pigs.
Yes.
Well,
It would
like
be delightful.
well, like a very salty pig. Dundonians would have that smoky,
Yeah, they-
like a Bavarian cheese, smoked
Yeah,
cheese.
but that would just be because of nicotine.
Oh, you'd have a right chew a Dundee junkie.
I
You get dry mouth. You
I-
need a nice
I
cup
was
of tea.
walking in the foothills of the Himalayas, and I got to this little tea house, and they had yak steak. Right, and this was years before I was a vegetarian, obviously. And I went, I'm going to have a yak steak.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I hate to say this, but the way they treat those fucking animals,
Is it bad?
it's bad. You would think the amount of beating it took, it would be a tender bit of meat.
Chew.
It was. You couldn't even cut through it. The knife wouldn't go through it, and I just had to spit it out and get some momos. I couldn't eat anything.
In is it Peru?
Okay.
They eat guinea pigs.
Oh.
But what they do is, it's a marvellous system. They have a cage under their bed,
Mm-hmm.
and it's full of guinea pigs.
Right.
So in the winter, the guinea pigs produce heat, so they're like a little electric blanket. They keep you
Oh,
warm, and
wonderful.
then you snack on them as well. But I know people that's eating them. This guinea pig's delicious.
That's like
Because rabbit's nice. Rabbit's
it's
tasty.
giant tortoise.
Okay.
Tortoise.
They taste
Tortoise.
good.
Tortoise. Not
Uh-huh.
sure. But they're meant to be so good
Oh,
that the sailors that were going out to the
because
Galapagos,
you could keep them
they'd keep them.
on
They
the
didn't
boat.
eat.
Yeah, they could
And you
keep.
just keep them,
Oh,
and then they'd eat them on the way
It's
back.
cru-
And they
it's
said they were
cruelty.
the
It's cruelty.
best food ever.
The because dodos tasted nice.
Yes.
That contributed
And
to their
that's-
demise.
yeah.
But people say they were eaten by humans, but it was rats. Rats
Right.
gone to the island and just
Killed them.
Yeah, but there's a guy called Mike. It used to be Dundee City Council used to have a taxidermist,
Oh,
professional, full-time taxidermist,
only in
simpler
Dundee.
times. But he actually, I think he got a neurological. He's a nice guy. Neurological issue because he was always knee deep in like formaldehyde and chemicals. And it just rotted his brain. But he'd eaten every animal under the sun
Right.
because they would say the Campbelldown Zoo would say where Ocelot died, and he's like that.
Got to get rid of that
meat.
meat.
Stuffed. He would eat
Yeah.
it. His favourite meat was swan.
I hear
He
it's
said
good.
swan was absolutely delicious, and there's a lot of eating in a swan.
And there's a lot of swans about here.
A lot of them.
They're easy to catch.
Well, yeah. they can break a man's arm, but it'll be worth it.
Would it?
It'll be worth it for that
They get you in a
taste.
headlock.
Just because they've got that long neck, it'd be like anaconda.
Oh God, yeah.
Imagine making love to a swan.
I just thought that as well
Yeah.
because you know the classic paintings of that was
It was because gods back in the day used to turn into a swan.
Ned. Fuck you.
It was either a bull or a swan.
Instead of turning into a sexy human
Mm-hmm.
to seduce the humans,
No,
they
a
turned
swan.
into a swan because they know what
Oh,
degenerates they were after.
Well, in the northeast of Scotland, it would be a sheep, a ram.
It would work.
It would focus on
Holy shit, it would work.
Women up here just leave the door open, just
That's
in
true.
case a top A ram just wanders in through the night.
Oh my God, they've
They
got
go-
shitey arses and everything.
Let's just
But so
say,
does Dundee Men.
I've not seen many sheep with a golden fleece around about here.
Oh,
Tends to be shitey. You know you know what a Canuck Darrell is? Have we discussed this?
a Canuck Darrell.
A Canuck Darrell is when you get fragments of shite
Uh-huh.
in your anal pubes. But they speak about a clinker in the northeast because the sheep, before they're shorn, they've got a full woolly fleece
Okay,
and they're right messy backsides.
that's right. Okay.
You'd think that would put the locals off.
But do you rub them? Would it just break? Because
Well,
it'll be dry.
What it does is it forms white man dreads. Kind of people
yeah,
with
yeah.
white dreads are just
Fucking middle class sheep.
yes, got Trustafarians because black people's hair naturally
Yeah.
dreads and it's
Yeah.
lovely. It looks cool, but white dreads, it's just filth holding it together.
That's right.
Kind of gets that pancaked look.
Yes.
So those form around a sheep's arse and they bake in the sun. So when it walks, it clinks together.
Oh, so you know where
clinkers.
they are.
Yeah.
They can't sneak up on you, or they
We-
can't get away.
When I was at school, we thought we'd go for an adventure. It was like Stand By Me.
Mm-hmm.
So we walked out into the countryside. We walked miles and we had a few top deck shandies,
Okay.
some bags of hula hoops,
Okay.
and we found this lovely spot. It was getting late. We thought we'd better put the tent up. So we thought there's a bit of a smell around here, but it's just nature. So we put up the tent and we've got the wee fire going and we're drinking a top deck shandy. It wasn't like Brokeback Mountain.
Are we sure?
There was slight tip to tip stuff.
Oh, that's
So there
okay.
was there's no out and out. There was no reach
That's
around.
hardly gay. If
No,
it's
it's
just
hardly
a tip.
gay. No, exploratory. But through the smell got a wee bit stronger,
Mm-hmm.
and we woke up in the morning in the nice light, beautiful summer's day, and there was a dead sheep lying a foot and a half away from, and it was rotten,
The smell.
and there was maggots everywhere.
Oh, it makes you
disgusting.
sick.
Somebody had been pecking at it.
A sheep and a dead sheep. It does smell like a dead
Hogs.
human. It's a proper death smell.
It's
yeah.
a horrible smell, just a disgusting smell.
I got used to the smell of shite, and
That's just as well.
yeah. But there was a Liverpudlian kid at my school, and when we would go home on the
Mhm.
school bus, every time he'd run to the back and take a shite, and then
Wonderful.
go, "I did it again, yay!" And no one went yay back, and it was disgusting. But I needed to get home, so after
He shit
probably
in the
about
bus every day.
every single, he ran up the back and took a shit. Some days he went, "Oh, I can't do it today, lads." But he
I
thought,
bet he's the CEO of a big company.
he'll be
now.
huge now,
Huge
yeah.
guy.
And yeah, I just got used to the smell of this dry, fresh shite. You just got used to it.
If anything, you started to enjoy it
A little.
because there's a guy, kind of like a Quincy forensic guy,
Okay.
and he said, "Can his day was patterned out? He'd say do 3 autopsies a day, boom,
Okay.
boom, boom." And he said, just like clockwork. And at lunchtime, just before lunchtime, he'd always get to this particular part of the cadaver,
Okay.
and his body subconsciously associated this smell, say the spleen,
Mm-hmm.
with lunchtime. So every time he dissected a spleen, his belly rumbled.
I get that about
Yeah.
very Pavlovian,
yeah,
but
mhm.
here's the where I get mine. Every time I get stitches or I see blood, super noodles.
Mm-hmm.
Any time I just, oh God, I want super noodles. It just brings it out in me.
Have I told you this? I've got a ceramic super noodle container. It's like a pot noodle container, but
I
ceramic.
hate posh people like you.
And I wrote to Super Noodles
Mm-hmm.
and said, "Listen, guys, I like Super Noodles, but could you make a posh noodle?" And I had some flavour note suggestions. I'd love a job as one of those. Can you work for McVitie's and you come up with new biscuits?
You have too much time on your hands.
I'm not against writing a campaigning letter to a company offering my services.
And that's what you got in return. Did they ever do a flavour?
They never got me a flavour back.
No.
No.
But at least you got a
I
ceramic.
discovered. I've got a good shite story to tell you as well.
Mm.
But before then, there's
Okay.
Stuart, a guy I've worked with for about fucking 20 years.
Right.
You know, he's an extraordinary character and he's prone to flights of fantasy.
Okay.
But one thing he genuinely did, you know, wrestling figures.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Hulk Hogan. I'm not a big.
Got you.
His son loved wrestling figures. So he'd have a lot of these wrestling figures. And I'm led to believe one of the wrestling figures, you could squeeze it and sweat came out of it.
Okay.
Right? Through like little... Remember the Action Man that used to speak?
Yeah.
It was like that. It had like holes, perforated chest, but sweat oozed out.
That's very odd.
Very strange. To lubricate it
Yeah.
almost. Stuart came up with a game.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a wrestling ring
Mm-hmm.
and rules. And he'd written it all down. He'd been in a frenzy. He hadn't slept. And he actually approached toy companies with it.
Uh-huh.
And he was taken in for meetings. And I think he's got an animal. He remembers the guy's name, the guy that turned him down. But I think they actually did develop a game. They just robbed
it, yeah.
But Stuart applied for a patent
yeah.
and spent thousands of pounds on prototyping.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He went for it.
That's wonderful.
Isn't that ambitious?
See, this is in Scotland, in case people don't know, that every third person is an inventor here.
Mm-hmm.
And
necessity.
Everything's been invented here.
Everyone's invented everything.
Do you know the key rings? They're in the shape of an animal. It's like a shark, or you get in the open a bottle.
Oh yeah,
opener. That was me.
Was that you that invented that?
I invented that.
Did you make any money off it?
Nope. But the person
the fucker
who was selling them in their shop, their brother-in-law had a manufacturing firm and started doing them and selling them in the shop at the same time as mine.
It's one of these things. Back in the day, you could have made money out of it, but now you know Etsy and that
you can't.
The Chinese spot it and they have it made in a week.
Well, you know the kind of stuff I make here. And if I put something up, within 3 days, there's certain Etsyers who have the exact same item as mine, similar pictures.
Jesus
they just copy it exactly.
That's pretty shocking, isn't it?
It's been doing it for years and years.
Etsy, there's nothing fresh on Etsy. Etsy is a bit of a shark pool, isn't it? It portrays itself as being cutesy.
Yeah, well, it changed a lot.
It
changed a lot, and they allow like sellers of like Chinese goods. You can just put anything on it now, instead of just making it. But there used to be a fantastic site called Regretsy, and it had all the worst stuff on it. It was great, and the weird thing was, if they put something on their front page of something terrible being made. It would sell out because people wanted these terrible items, and then the people that were making it got mad because they didn't buy them properly.
Jesus Christ!
It was great. Regretsy is sorely missed. It was a wonderful site.
There was one of these pop-up markets which you frequent.
I do.
You stalk them like a timber wolf. Spreading your fleas and rabies. Oh, I can imagine.
We're hated
because you have a professionalism.
Well, here's what happens. We take our items there, we sell everything and make a ton of money, and the people around us complain because everyone was buying our stuff and not theirs.
Oh, that's brutal, isn't it?
I've had someone say to my face, this is my living, and because you're here I can't make money. And I'm like, you're selling lampshades. I'm selling something completely...
Why would you buy a lampshade? You could make a lampshade.
Hand-painted lampshade. You have to see it. It was quite incredible.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, it's cutthroat. I hate it. I went to a food fair once, and the amount of people who'd come up with like some system for cooking, some grill, or some spice system or something, and you made the slightest bit of eye contact, and you got the spiel. And you were like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because I go to these, I go around like a Hoover and just taste absolutely everything. But
kind of people,
but I buy nothing.
Yeah.
If I was coming to check your stuff out, I would explore it.
Yeah, touching it.
I said, do you mind if I have a shot of this apron, but I need to go to the toilet and disrobe.
Yeah.
I like to feel my icily clean balls against the fabric.
Well, when we go to these things, everyone's really earnest, and like you're saying, there's some people that are selling this delivery system of food, and all it is a packet of spices, but you have to do it in the way they've invented in their head. It's silly. But we're beside them, and I'm there with my business partner Susan, and we just fucking dick around. We sell so much.
Susan's the eye candy.
She is.
Betty,
I'm the muscle.
You're the muscle.
Oh.
It's like a minder.
Yeah. But no,
are you Arthur Daly?
I'm not sure which. I'm not sure.
Susan's a bit Arthur Daly.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
honestly, we do nothing to sell them.
No. Listen, if someone's good, it sells
and
itself.
Well, usually when we go there, to the other vendors, we can sell it up to 10 of them before we've set up.
Oh, wonderful.
And we're like, we could go home now. We're not even put the rails up. By midday, we've usually sold the majority of what we've got. So we put no effort in, and we'll have a laugh with people.
Yeah, I can
and
tell that.
we'll get
Tell
chilled.
that.
You know, and other people right across from us, they're going, come and have a look. Come in. And they get the whole story of how this little fucking piece of shit cork thing's made. And then they get mad at us when they see us.
I have a bit of a thing
making
against
money.
postcards.
There's a lot of postcards.
There was one of the museums I worked in, one of the other staff, she sold stuff in the actual shop.
Mm-hmm.
This was before the day. This was when there was no professionalism.
Yeah.
Everyone came out of a plum shortbread tin. But she'd made these cards,
Right.
and it was her watercolours she'd had reproduced, but it was like murky, horrible, green, the piss poor. And I says, how much are you selling those for? 79 pence each, the cards. I says, how much does that cost you to get printed? 78 pence. I says, you're making a penny off each one. Yeah. So on a good day, you should make 10 pence. Not worth it, is it? But because it's a love, you've got, if you're going to sell stuff in any form of professionalism, you have to be professional.
Yeah.
There's no point doing it.
The thing is,
just give it away.
It's a business.
Yeah.
And we have to treat it that way. And
like your mother knit blankets for premature babies and give them away.
That's what she does.
That'll make you feel happy, and that's perfectly
That's
good.
fine.
But if you want to make the mask thing, the COVID masks,
That's where it's at.
some people have made some fucking money out of it.
I've been asked
10 quid for one.
Yeah, I've been asked for from quite a few customers for leather ones, and I have to refuse.
That wouldn't work.
It's like putting a plastic bag over your head.
But maybe that's the fun.
Yeah, but they've not got
want
the
to
concept.
They want to suffocate.
It's not good. And I'm staying out of that one.
Well, I went. There was a pop-up market in one of the mills, kind of one round the corner, and I went in. First thing I saw, somebody taken whiskey barrels, so a piece of whiskey barrel wood, and they'd put a bottle opener on it, like a brass bottle opener, so you could nail this to your wall and you could open them one. And I says, oh, that's good. They looked quite, because I drink a lot of beer, I thought it'd be quite
There you
nice.
go, yeah.
Said the guy, give me the spiel. And I said, I'll think about it. 2 stalls down, exact same stuff. So they had been all in the whole market. I think it was 10 guys selling the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they were bulk. I believe they were bulk buying just the handles for China.
Yeah,
and
this
then
does
just
happen.
nailing it on.
But then again, I've had several people claim that I do not make these aprons. I know you can buy them on Wish, and I went, no, these are handmade and done. No, they're not, and they're so cynical. They can't
when
believe
folk
it.
deal with me like that, I would just kick them in the face.
Oh, I've told a couple of people.
Just get to fuck.
Yeah, just fuck off.
Just get.
I
People
have.
can be so infuriating. It's good to be cynical. If you're
Yeah.
not, if you've not got a slice of cynicism, and
Yeah.
you're a victim.
Mm-hmm.
But some people doubt everything.
Well, I've had it, I think, about 5 times now, where people just say no. Now, you know, Susan's stitching is the most accurate stitching you've ever seen.
For a woman that drinks so much and wear glass eye,
Yeah,
you think she'd struggle, but she's just
it's
incredible.
like it's done by computer.
And most of her fingers she lost to that leprosy she had. So it's
excuse me, Hansen's disease.
Hansen's disease. I'm sorry to the Hansen's disease. Jesus.
I've got a lot of lepers
I don't-
that watch
I don't
this.
be
I mean,
cancer.
Hansen's disease sufferers
Hansen's
to watch
disease
this.
sufferers.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear
Oh.
my shite story?
Oh, here we go. I forgot about it.
Oh, this
Put
is,
out my
it was
mind.
bubbling. The shite was bubbling in the back of my mind.
Oh,
I came back to school. It was primary school, and I walked in, and the school we went to was this tiny wee Victorian building.
okay.
It's now a CrossFit gym.
As they all are.
I fucking hate CrossFit.
It's awful.
There's a CrossFit place next to here. It's a cult. It's purely a cult.
I'm beginning to think that.
It's a cult, man.
Yeah.
You pay money and you just exercise on the street.
Yeah.
I can exercise.
They run up and down the street
The
all
street.
day. Yeah. Strange.
Betty came back to school and the stench hit me like a punch in the
Oh.
gut. Solar plate. Oh my God. And I walked in, and here is a young kid I'd never seen before, my age, head to toe in shite. So his school uniform was like blue with a gold and black tie, and his tie looks like it's been dipped in shite. There's shite in his eyes, his eyelashes, his fucking ears, his feet are like clods of shite. I'm like, oh my God, poor bastard. And he's bawling, greeting in the middle of the thing. So I look, and he's all the way up the corridors, these gigantic hoof marks of shite all the way along. So I'm like, oh my God. So I take a wide berth, 2 metre distance, go around it. But I'm needing to go for a pee. Go into the toilet. The poor wee bastard hadn't understood how to use a toilet. And he tried to shit in the urinals.
Oh no.
But he'd slipped.
Oh no.
And his arse had went his own shite.
Oh, this makes me want to cry.
And then he tried to extricate himself and slipped. You could see he'd slipped into the shit. He'd managed to roll in it. Like, you know how a dog used to sneak out the house and then roll in a dead sheep? This is what he'd done. I've never seen anything like it. It was like Bobby Sands. It's like a dirty protest. And then came back, and then there's all these poor the teachers there and the school nurse, and they've got him wrapped in a blanket, and the poor never seen again. It was his first day at school.
Oh no.
He was an English kid that maybe come from Liverpool.
Okay, could have been him.
No, but his first day at school, and that's the kind of thing you never get out from under. That story, because I pissed myself at school a couple of times, but because I'm such a because I'm not pishy goron, because I'm quite nice. There's other parts of my personality shone through. But no, this guy, like, his parents had just taken him out of the school. We'll find another school for you. That's awful. That would. There
was a kid in my class. Can't say his name because he became quite well known for trying to kill his girlfriend. But anyway, he was sitting in the class, primary, and the smell hit everyone. We're looking, and he goes, I have to go, right? And we're all, go to the toilet. He went, nope, started. And he just shat himself and was laughing. Didn't care. The smell. So he was dragged out of the class, and he come back with a pair of flares on. But yeah, he just shat. We didn't care.
I have an animosity towards gym teachers.
Oh, they're all fucking pricks. Because we know that.
Gym teachers don't get to go into the staff room with other teachers. They're always at the recce.
Right.
They're separate.
Yeah, as they should be.
But when our first day in grammar school, we show up, but nobody's got school uniform. Nobody's got their gym kit with them. Because you thought, first day, you just give you introduced.
Yeah.
First class. Gym class. Right, guys? None of us have got school uniforms. You're just going to have to do it in your pants.
Yes, they used to do that.
You have to do it in your pants. Nobody's got any towels. You'll have to dry yourself with your jerseys. And people that didn't, I think one poor kid didn't have pants on. And they made him wear like a pair of pants that had been left over with skid marks in it.
Jesus
now
Christ.
that's abuse.
Of course it is.
Isn't it horrible?
They done it to me. It was me
and
my mate.
The things that used to happen in school. People
was just normal.
Oh, school's so much better back in the day.
No, it wasn't. It was terrible.
They were tyrants, a lot of the little bars. Luckily I avoided there was no beating when we...
I got hit a few times.
You get hit?
Yeah, I got hit a few times, but I didn't get as bad. There was a couple of teachers that would hit you, but they were incredibly racist.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of Asian kids, and they got it worse than I did.
Yeah. Because nobody questioned teachers.
You just got punched, and that was it. You accepted it.
We had a geography teacher called Mr. Sinclair. A dick. I hope he's rotten in hell. Who wants to study geography?
It's not even a real thing.
No, not even real. It's flat, isn't it? There,
yes,
flat.
Yes,
yeah. It's all made of plasticine. If you go into the street,
it's all brown.
And just all colours mixed to brown.
Yeah.
That's Earth.
Holy shit!
But he would do appalling stuff, and he'd hit people with. He had a like rod, ply fucking thing, broom handle, and he'd smack people with it. But he smacked one big farmer kid. And it's Scott Morrison, and he rolled up his sleeves, forearms like just rippled, and he just sparked him clean out.
Oh, wonderful!
Just under the chin, knocked him clean out.
Oh, that's great.
But he was a guy. I think he'd been looking back as an adult. Mr. Sinclair had been terrified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a man who'd been terrified of children, and he was overcompensating by being aggressive.
I think there's something when my first day at school. What's your name? Vindas up here. And I got the belt, and my first 5 minutes of being at school, I got the belt.
Is that where you got the taste for it? Was it bare cheek, or was it through
you know what happened to me? I got the belt, and he gave me 3 of the belt because
my family on at the time.
Yeah, my family were a bit because trouble, so he was making sure I wasn't going to do it.
He was breaking your spirit.
Yes, but you know what happened? This weird switch in my head just went, and
Did
it
you
wasn't not. It was like it wasn't me thinking, and I thought I'll never trust an adult again.
Mm.
And even now, when someone acts like an adult, I'm very suspicious of them.
I think it's.
Do you know what I mean by
I
that?
think it's utterly unacceptable.
It's
Adults smacking children.
with a leather belt.
Yeah.
And I've grew up saying I was lucky I was never beaten as a kid. I was never...
Oh, yeah.
Because you accept
Yeah.
that you were beaten with a belt. Now, they banned it. I think I was in second year when they actually banned it. And in the last week, I had the belt 18 times. They'd get you up, whack. You'd walk in, you'd get it across the back of the legs because it was going to be banned.
But you can. No, I'm going to say it. They'd all fucking enjoyed it. They got their jollies off that.
I knew they did.
If you didn't enjoy it, you wouldn't be fucking doing it.
There was some teachers were like...
My dad said
Are really against it.
His teachers used to wear the actual robe.
Oh, we had that. And they'd carry the belt.
They had the belt, the kind of button in the shirts. They would
That's
have a belt, and they'd just go whack. But they hit you over the face.
Oh, well, they still had the cloak when I was at school.
Yeah.
The rector and that. They still done it. And he would carry the belt over his shoulder.
Just what?
And he'd shout at you and you'd grab it. And everyone would fucking freeze. Now, you were in first year. You were little kids.
A child, yeah.
Little kids. But yeah, they banned it. And in the last week, I had it 18 times in 5 days.
Jesus Christ. But some of the best teachers, it's a fine line. But the ones who treat people with... If you got treated like an adult...
Yeah.
Everything went smoothly in the class.
I had teachers like that were fantastic.
A good teacher is incredible. But I know a lot of teachers as mates, and none of them fucking enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because you're cleaning up after terrible parents.
I could imagine, yeah, and it's all your fault if anything goes wrong.
And particularly in this time of COVID, the kids know the power balance.
They've got it all
You
now.
just need to sneeze in the middle of the class and everybody's going out the windies. But the teachers can't, please. Teachers can't get near kids.
Yeah.
It's just... No, it's... there was footage on... not to be a downer, but there's footage on of Cooper Angus, and it's the army that's went in to test that. You noticed they're all...
God.
But I was at the work the other day. Excuse me. We should get one of those cough buttons like they have in proper radio.
Right, wait,
Do
hold
I have
on.
one?
Hold on, cough. Oh.
Did it work?
No, but I am now deaf.
That's good. And there's a gap between two tenements I can see from my work. And flying down into Dundee Airport was a big giant fucking army plane.
No.
One of the big transport planes.
Big Hercules
A
thing.
Hercules.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we're finished. We're doomed.
Now,
We're doomed.
it's
like a film.
And it was coming in low and hot.
A case on approach.
But my work yesterday was dispiriting because it was like a very bland apocalypse. Everybody was masked and everybody was just so low energy.
Oh, I bet.
And because I've
Have you had enough?
Well, I don't kind of worn the mask throughout, and I think it's a really good idea. But what it does is I can't hear well with the mask on. Have you noticed that? It's a strange... It muffles your senses. So when conversations now, nobody can hear each other. And there's a lot of miscommunication going on.
Oh.
And it's everyone's just tired.
Yes.
I
could imagine that's the...
There's a fatigue.
And you're going...
And Dundonians are a pretty low energy bunch anyway.
Bleak.
It's Scandinavian.
It's
gone that way.
I
think if there was suicide booths in Dundee...
Oh no, that would
Jesus
they'd
Christ.
all be broken with the amount of use.
Yeah. You know
Juice.
how... Can those machines that work cans? You
Yeah.
can recycle your
You
cans.
just get squashed in it.
You just get squashed in it. Because the junkie blood would just... It'd be so thin. It wouldn't have blocked the drains.
No.
You could put it straight out to the sea.
Oh.
Imagine what the plankton would come out looking like if it was feeding on junkie nutrition.
Alright, man, I'm a pure plankton.
I just didn't have the energy.
Yeah, you got 40p for the bus.
And it would move up the chain. So those baleen whales sucking in the plankton.
They're going around with their Adidas on. Jesus. That's how it'll end, man. People thought it was like...
People think the world's
zombies and
end
that.
with a bang. It's just... Folk are just going to lose
Just a
interest.
splutter.
Folk will stop going to Pancake Place. Yeah, the world will end like a moist fart.
Pancake Place is alright. Do you think that would...
No, it's disgusting. You eat Pancake
I've
Place.
been there before. I've been there
I
once.
bet you have. It's disgusting.
I got a pancake.
I don't believe the hygiene in that place is particularly good.
It's the one in St Andrews.
There was a pub in Dundee. I think it was Lang's.
You're right, okay.
And when the health inspectors went in, they pulled out the grease trap where they'd been frying the bacon, and there was little mouse paw prints.
Oh, how sweet.
It's like a Disney film with deadly disease.
Well, a place very, very close to where I live, they had, I was working in the garden and I could see the back door to it, and it was all the holes where the rats were going in. You'd see the rats at night.
Yeah.
And it took them 3 years before they lost their food licence.
Well, I know a lassie who works doing that particular job, and she says, yeah, they get so many chances.
I don't know why.
You think they could go into a place if you opened the fridge and there's a human head in it, they'd say you must do better.
This is not acceptable.
Well, you have to close you up, but they don't. They want to. You know when they say we'll try and work with them.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that.
No, it's like if I walked in. Now, in my area, there was a huge problem with rats, and it was because they were going into the kitchen.
A rat will get in anywhere.
Since the kitchen shut down, never seen a rat again.
Yeah.
They've all moved on, and it's just, yeah, it's not good. But it took them 3 years. What, Rent-A-Kill coming up?
Oh dear. Because a rodent's clever. If it's a food source, it will live in its food source.
Yeah.
It's like you and I would, for example, just live in a giant room full of sausages. But what a rat will do, it'll eat the sausage, but it'll just shite. So it gets to say, is that a sausage? Is that a shite?
Doesn't matter.
What will we taste and see? Because I had pet rats, and they were ingenious. One of them escaped, and it lived under the floorboards of my flat for a year.
Oh my goodness.
And I couldn't catch a wee blighter, and it had food caches, but they all used to cache food. They working together. They're ingenious. You can't outsmart them. Teaming up.
So you got to watch for. No, it's
Dundee. There's a fatigue. There's just a.
What you said is the sense of feeling tired. I'm noticing that with people, and I don't know if it's just the lockdown, but I think the shock of going back to work, because they've had a realisation. This is the longest they've been off of work maybe in their life, and they've went, what am I doing there? What's the purpose?
No, but people realise what am I doing?
Yeah.
Let's look at all work. Everything is utterly pointless.
Well, work is rubbish. That's why it's called work and not hand jobs. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
But
with your hands, I think hand jobs would be quite rubbish as well.
I've got a lot of dead skin.
Oh,
so
it was like an emery board.
Yeah. You will be polished.
Clean. No, like teachers. You're teaching. What I know gets to a lot of my mates who are teachers. You start the kids. You see them for 5 years, they move on, and there's it's just a sausage factory.
It just goes on.
And what are you doing? So you've kind of got to convince yourself. You buy stuff, you make yourself happy, you go on holidays, but it's all utterly pointless.
I think this is what people
are
all
just teetering in the void. Yeah.
And what could come out of this is massive amounts of depression. I think some people will just get back on with it, but there'll be sadness. Others will make big changes. I'm sure that'll happen.
Yes, I've been watching a lot of stuff on YouTube, and it's the Japanese. And the Japanese do work like fuck, hard workers.
But they've gone to is it a 3-day week now? They've gone to.
But they take a pride in any job they do. So if they're a street sweeper, they are the best street sweeper.
Yes.
And that's a good coping mechanism.
To be fair, I've always done that. I've had terrible jobs, but I thought, no, I've got to do it right. And if I didn't do it right, I would even stay back and finish something that was right just to keep my sanity.
I love mopping a floor.
It's wonderful.
If you do mopping a floor and you get into the rhythm, there's something mesmeric about it.
The best job I ever had was caretaker. Dundee University, the chaplaincy.
Were you working by yourself?
Yes.
Do you remember Linda
Wonderful.
Rollo?
No.
Linda Rollo, because the chaplaincy in Dundee Uni. Is that where you were?
Yeah.
Used to go there for lunch. And you get a lot of food for your lunch. But all the staff there just eat for nothing. The place is needing some people to go in there and have a wee look. Because there's every denomination's there.
Yeah.
And there's one fat guy, and I've never seen him putting money behind the kind of subsidised food, but
it was the best job. Well, I never really met anyone that worked in there.
They insisted.
I was
after the interview. They said, Derek, just to let you know, none of us ever want to see you again.
And that's what happened.
Never again.
But it was wonderful.
Was it like The Shining?
There was one time,
because you had a wife and kids.
Do you know their big giant? I had. You know the big giant cross they had.
It's like carved out of meerschaum.
That's it.
Jesus, did you have to polish him?
I'll tell you what.
I bet you straddled Jesus.
I was beside the piano.
Did it move?
It did. Because it was held in with one pin.
Oh Jesus!
And it started. And I went, now I'm an absolute atheist,
Yeah.
but there was a moment.
He was calling
like
to
that,
you.
and I was like,
But
there was a
unfortunately,
pigeon.
you
there was a pigeon behind it.
you used to clean. You Donald Ducked it when you were cleaning.
Oh yeah, I was completely naked.
Completely naked. Naked would actually be a good thing to do if you're cleaning.
I loved that job.
You could use your body as a sponge, like a chamois.
Do you know why I was taking on that job? Because of the trouble, because of the Christian group in the morning that would go in for morning prayers. Right? They had so much stealing and that going on, right?
Gee.
And they said, we don't want, like, one of the women from the other buildings or anything like that to be there on their own.
Yeah.
So I was there with someone else for a couple of weeks, and they said, right, you seem to be handling it. We'll just leave you there on your own, see how it goes. It was that bad. One day, I would put my bike in,
Uh-huh.
I would leave the building to go to another building to empty that, and then behind me, someone snuck in. I saw this. And I went in. Oh, what the fuck are you doing in here? She went, oh, I've got a key. I went, you just snuck in. Get the fuck out. She was in charge of the Christian group. And they'd go through all the drawers and the doors, and this would happen. Now, one day, I hear a bit of a... Oh, what was that? So I'm upstairs. So I go downstairs to the other kitchen. And I go, it looks different. There's a fridge missing.
What?
They'd blocked the window open, right, the day before, come back in the morning, tipped the fridge forward, straight out. So I ran out. I couldn't find anyone. It was gone.
Was
a
it
huge
full?
fridge full of chicken. And it was gone.
Oh, my Lord.
And it was like that. They were in, they were out. The other one that was very common, this happened a few times, is that people who were failing their courses would put their work and leave it in a bin bag beside the bins. I'd throw it out because it's a bin bag at the bin, and they'd say, where's my work?
Okay.
And they say, my work's been thrown out, I've got to be given another year. And every one of them got told to... I think this was the rumour, if you do this, you could get another year.
Oh, that's basic
and
shit.
they got chucked out. They actually got thrown out for that.
Oh, God.
They lost their place
And
in their course.
The college with the most theft in Scotland is, I believe, Tullybuckert.
Tullybacker.
That's the police college up north.
Oh my
And they
God.
just steal from each other like fuck.
I could imagine that.
I'd imagine a good thief would make a good police officer, though.
Oh, that's true.
You'd-
I think
having
psychologically
a-
they're the same.
Having a criminal mind is of benefit to you.
So the guys I would work with, all the engineer guys and all the the people that would work at the university fixing it and that. And I was telling them, we're having a laugh, having a cup of tea about this getting stolen. He goes, wait till I tell you something. Down at the student digs off the Perth Road, he says, we had to replace the security door. It took 6 of us to carry this door. We leant it against the side. We had to go up and tell everyone we're going to be working here. When we came back, it was gone. He says, we ran up everywhere, never been seen again. He says, it was them. He says, it was the students. He says, but they fucking... He says, it took 6 of us to carry that door.
Where did they put it?
It was at the entrance. They'd opened the door, put it in the inside of the closey, leant it against the wall, went up 2 minutes, he said, came back down.
No,
it's
but where
fucking
did
gone.
the students put it?
They don't know.
They probably-
I think it opened the door. It was in one of their rooms.
They probably had the munchies and eating it.
Do you know what I mean?
When I was a student in Glasgow, we were in a kind of squatty place, walking back, and outside a pub was a Space Invader machine.
Right.
A really old one.
Right.
We thought, that'll be good. We'll turn it into a drinks cabinet or something. Took it into the flat, plugged it in, it worked. Never took money. You could just play endless games on this thing.
Wonderful.
That would be worth money now.
That'd be worth
we just
a lot of
left
money.
it there. Just left. I love Space Invaders.
After a
was
while,
a game I enjoyed.
That was a good one. But after a while working this job, I realised why it was there. And
the eye candy.
of
You
course.
were to tempt people.
Wow.
You were the apple.
There was so much trouble, they essentially needed a form of bouncer
Oh.
at 5 o'clock in the morning. Isn't that insane? And there's another thing. If you work in any building in the university, it attracts nobody. But if you work in the chaplaincy, 5 in the morning, some drunk, some weirdo.
Yeah, thinking it's like Quasimodo.
It was always someone about.
Sanctuary!
There was always someone looking for some food, looking in the theft. But after 3 months, they'd done a report and they said the theft had gone down to 0 because I'd been in 4 fights.
Jesus Christ.
It was really bad.
When I worked in Tesco's, there was a guy called Charlie something, and he was a lifelong Tesco's guy, Tesco's minded.
Okay.
And he'd been working in the Tesco in Lochee. He was assistant manager. Quite a burly guy.
Okay.
But he had this big pronounced scar on the top of his head.
Oh.
I didn't want to ask him. But what happened, run up to Christmas, these junkies stole 2 frozen turkeys and ran for the shop Now, just let them go.
Yeah.
He ran after them.
Right.
One of them hid up the lane, and when Charlie came round, he donked him top of the head with a frozen turkey
Oh
and
my
fractured
God.
his skull.
Oh,
He had a
Jesus.
steel plate put in his head. Imagine risking your life for a turkey.
For a turkey.
But people get on. But that's maybe a Japanese attitude.
I had a very low-key moment last night, a very Dundee moment. I was driving to Tesco's and I got up to the corner and where there's a nursery, and there's two guys in handcuffs, a load of police cars, and one turned and kicked the female cop in the arse. And all I saw was this kid getting lifted up in the air behind the car and getting slammed down. I went, keep driving. He was going to get his arse handed to him. But they obviously had the dogs in because the dog van was just leaving.
Right, okay.
Right? So I go around the corner and follow the dog
Uh-huh.
van. Then the lights go on and he accelerates away. And I see at the Mercedes garage all these cars appearing and cops just running, the dog getting pulled out. And I thought, that couldn't be more Dundee.
That dog won't need feeding.
No.
They'll keep it hungry.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
gets a bit of leg.
Just constantly.
Just chewing.
Police running around everywhere.
The dog's a good thing, eh? They just have marvellous things. Do
Well,
they get to keep their dog? Because they form a hell of a relationship, the
I
handler
think it
and the
might
dog.
be. I'm not sure of the deal,
When do
but
they
I
get
have
to
seen
retire?
a dog attack like that.
Come at you through the window.
Oh, they're terrifying.
Dundee, do you think the police are more present at the moment? There seems to be more
There seems
sirens.
to be there's a lot going on.
Sirens through
Yeah.
the night, yeah.
There's a lot going on.
I think there's a lot of pubs all the way through lockdown that were just like keeping open.
Yeah,
There's a lot of businesses secretly, backroom
yeah. There was a lot of that going on.
backroom drinking.
Yeah,
But like I say, Dundee's needing a wee shot in the arm. They could try an experiment where they just put someone in the water supply. Amphetamines.
that might
What
work.
can go wrong?
I don't think anything could go wrong.
Could
It's
go
better.
wrong.
It's better
Just
than
try all different kinds of things.
what's happening at the moment. Yeah, I think that's a shot in the arm. Dundee's
'Cause
feeling very
Dundee's never.
done.
Dundee's lacked that. Kind of Glasgow and Edinburgh have got that kind of swagger to them.
They're very aware of who they are,
And
and
the
there's a pride in it.
entrepreneurial.
There's no pride in
Dundee's
Dundee.
never had
No.
that. Dundee, I really like Dundee, but Dundee gets a bit of a reputation. Even Aberdeen looks down at Dundee,
And
and
it should.
Aberdeen is a shite hole.
Oh, it's a dump. It's damp.
It's a dump. It's a
very
damn
damp.
dump. It's the granite. It irradiates everything.
Yeah.
Everybody glows.
Yeah. It's
Everybody
weird.
glows. The whole
Can't get to sleep at night.
no, just can't. Broad daylight. Wah, 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 wah. Does that noise? Wah, 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 wah.
Oh,
Everyone's like Spider-Man.
yeah. It's
Everyone's like Spider-Man.
and
there.
there's no superpowers. It's just leukemia.
Just look at you.
But yeah, I Dundee's had this, and I'm as guilty as anyone. Being from Dundee, I'm very
Negative.
down about
Yeah,
it as
I'm a
well.
negative, yeah.
I've got
Whereas
nothing good to say about it.
I'm an income at Dundee, so I've brought that enthusiasm.
But anyone that comes to Dundee, they do see the best in it. Where if you've just had years of junkies and it just
Well, the
wears
thing
you
is,
down.
it's a giant building site, and they've built the V&A, and it's just like all happening. But it just seems to be a separate thing.
Yeah, it's
It doesn't feel to be in the middle of Dundee. But I'm led to believe this is madness. They're going to have a beach front
they're having a beachfront.
and a ice pond.
See, I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to change myself. I'm trying to be a new man
But
about
you've-
Dundee.
Yeah, but you've said beachfront syringes.
Oh,
The
that's
thing
all
about
it's gonna
having
be.
Like you watch.
That's how they had to take sand away from play parks and that
Yeah.
because all the syringes
Yeah.
in them.
So you have to man it 24 hours. Japan, they're a nation of vending machines.
Mm-hmm.
There's vending machines everywhere. Vending machines where you can get like pork ribs,
Oh, that
hot
sounds
pork ribs at a vending machine.
brilliant.
But the vending machines, every 100 yards in Tokyo, there's a vending machine.
Oh.
They're never vandalised. So you can just use, and the people that run them take pride in them, keep them clean. So they're marvellous. Nobody ever steals out of them. A vending machine in Dundee would last an afternoon. An unmanned vending
Of
machine.
course it
Can you
would. And
imagine?
the proof is in, like you see,
We
in-
can't have nice things.
we've got a beautiful new railway station. Well, it's tiny and it was.
Oh, in the piano.
And the piano lasted, I think it was 4 hours, and it was smashed to pieces.
There's in Central Station in Glasgow, there's a piano that's
Yeah.
been there unmolested for about 40 years.
4 hours.
Dundee, 4 hours. Smashed
Actually,
to fuck.
I'm sure officially it was like 3.5 hours, but I'm just rounding it up.
One old geezer played chopsticks and then it was
Mhm.
smashed to
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah, the station's a bit underwhelming, the new station, isn't
The
it?
new station is smaller than the old one,
Yeah.
and but there is a hotel above it, which was meant to be for the Dundee people. It was meant to be for new businesses starting up, and that's how they always get the planning permission.
Is it one of
Boom,
those
hotel.
Nuki? It looks like one of those Nuki hotels.
Yeah, it is, definitely. It looks like shit.
They're not even washed.
No.
The rooms are just... Ken, one of those Portaloos that self-clean.
Yep.
I just think a big hose comes on. There's a big drain in the middle of the room, and people mate.
Oh, I used to
Or
hate
rendezvous.
the self-cleaning one in Lochee.
The
I don't know if
the
it's still
shiter?
there. Yeah, I don't know if it's still there. God, it's probably not.
It broke. It just couldn't have...
And sometimes it opened, and there was like 4 junkies would come out, and they'd all...
soaked.
Oh, yeah. It
The
was
blue, it
disgusting.
was like blue water.
Terrible. It was a terrible, terrible thing to see.
Oh, God.
But they didn't seem to bother.
Just drowned. Just fell out. The whole thing just completely filled with
Oh, that would
water.
be wonderful.
Like an ocelot. No,
Oh.
an oxalotl.
An what?
An oxalotl. An axolotl.
You're having a stroke.
They're one of those...
Time to go back to the home.
They're one of those like salamanders. They've got the wee gills. That's an axolotl, isn't it? An axolotl.
I don't
An
know
axolotl.
what- I'm not
People breed the bloody thing.
They shouldn't.
That's what junkies are. Because junkies don't need oxygen. A junkie would probably be very good at like going up the north face of the Eiger. Because the smoke, they don't need oxygen.
They don't need oxygen.
They're
That's
not
very
breathing.
true.
One breath a fortnight.
I saw 2 junkies just the other day in
Mhm.
Lochee,
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing my favourite thing, standing with phones in their hands, but they don't need them because they shout,
Ah, yeah.
and they were just shouting back and forward. It was delightful.
Oh, remember the guy that used to go in Lochee and he used to spin the plate?
He's still there.
He got assaulted, and the Courier Dundee had this story saying, poor man, just going about his business, and he gets assaulted. Underneath in the comments was like, that bastard robbed my shed, that bastard shot at my closey, that shit keyed my car. Yeah.
That
He's a
guy
turd.
is the one that pissed and shat himself when I was talking to Susan the other day.
He's an aggressive little bastard.
He's a little
isn't he?
shit, like.
He's a
but
shit, yeah.
I think he's fading.
Is he going
He's
down?
actually fading. His temples are in. His cheeks
Yeah.
are in. I think he's going.
They shine brightly, but
It's-
half as long. Yeah, poor
it's-
little thing.
He's going.
Like a candle in the wind.
But you always know where he's been because there's a lump of shite and piss everywhere.
But he did. It was a piece of bamboo in a plate,
Yeah,
and
that's
he'd
all.
spin it.
That's all.
That
He
was
did.
his street entertainment.
It doesn't really spin. It just rolls.
It rolls
It's
a
just he's
Good idea.
yeah.
Imagine if he got on like Britain's Got Talent or something.
Just piss yourself.
And Simon Cowell criticised him, so he took him with a razor blade. to
Oh, he
split-
would.
Well, Simon Cowell broke his back,
That's right.
shattered.
That's right.
Push bikes, man, dangerous.
Hold on. I'll stop you right there. Electric bikes, they're saying, are electric bikes safe? Yes. He was on the fastest electric bike you get, and it's not even a bicycle. The thing does like 90 mile an hour. He hit the throttle in sport mode. The bike shot up in the air, and he landed on his arse and broke his back. In exactly the same way I did it.
Okay.
And yeah. and
I would
there's-
have thought he's so manufactured with parts, he would have just been immune to injury.
He'd just lie there and
You could
laugh.
shoot a bullet at his face, it would bounce off.
He's an unusual.
He looks like Uday and Hussein. Uday
Combined.
Hussein. After they died, they tried to
just when the
Oh, he's
skin
a
went
hot-
very taut.
plastic surgery and those British celebrities. I'm just not liking it. And
There's
I've
that
seen a lot.
comedian at the moment, Brian Callen, who's been accused of rape and
Has he
other
had what
sex
done?
crime, but he's just had his eyes done. So
Oh,
people are saying, "Did you do it?" And he's going,
oh, yeah.
"I had nothing to do with it," but he looks like he's lying.
There was a thing on the other day, and it was a Darren Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And I've not watched a lot of Darren Brown, but I kind of like him because he kind of he says it's pure, it's not
Yeah,
magic,
that's-
and he's like pulls people up for claiming to be magical.
I like that. Yeah,
But his hairline is a treat
yeah.
because he had his hair and he had it that boofy way,
Mm-hmm.
so he looked like a stage hypnotist. But then it started to go drastically, and then he had a hair transplant. So suspiciously in the early 2000s, it got quite thick.
Okay,
But now he's got it completely shaved off
wonderful.
because a hair transplant never lasts.
It's
You're just biding your time.
there's an actor called, is it Joey Lawrence?
Yeah.
He was in Blossom,
He's looking like peculiar.
and he was known for his very flamboyant
He
hair
did
in the
have hair.
program.
Mhm.
But he's lost it all, and now he's got plugs, and he's got this ginger hair that sits on the top of his head like
You're
a Brillo
kidding
pad.
me. It's
Oh,
like
it's a bad
Whoa,
one.
It's like Steven Seagal's hair's like a Brillo pad.
But whoever done it, they didn't do it all over. They've done it in rows on Steven
well,
Seagal.
well, that was the
Looks
old
like a
way they used to
Berryfield,
do it.
yeah.
Nowadays they do it more randomly.
Now you can get an amazing
the
job.
best
It's
thing
really
you
good.
could do if you could have a scalp transplant, the whole lot,
Yeah. Well,
just the whole lot.
do you know what they do in one?
Mhm.
They put a balloon
Oh!
with saline under it. Stretch the skin at the back so
And
you
then-
look like the Elephant Man.
No, that's what Donald Trump had that. He had actually the bald spot cut out.
Oh my God.
And the bald spot just cut out.
Just go bald.
Get a
I'm
wee
quite
wa-
happy being
No, I
bald.
don't mind it. You could get a wallet made out of it.
Oh, that's disgusting.
No?
Imagine the smell.
Well, it's
Be
always...
like a dead mouse in
Oh,
Doritos.
jeez. It's like in like a... I wouldn't have put me... I just move the offending crisp and keep eating. It's like Burke and Hare.
Yeah.
They made like a Bible and wallets and all kinds of stuff out of the skin.
Very odd.
Yeah.
Even if I was stealing bodies, I don't think I would go down that route. I don't need anything covered. Like my daughter at school, covered in...
brown paper.
Yeah.
One of my mates at school used a jazz mag. He got in a bit of
goodness.
trouble.
I'm sure it was
So there was
pointed
the fanny right on the front. Big pube covered fanny.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't think the teacher initially knew what it was. I think he claimed it was like a National Geographic.
I saw a video on
Uh-huh.
YouTube, and it's this kid at school with her mates.
Oh,
And they put glasses on her, and she looks exactly like, is it Mia Khalifa, the porn actress?
right.
Like, you couldn't tell them apart. And the teacher's walking past, and they went, look, look, look. And they put the glasses on her. And he goes, what? I don't get it. What's wrong with glasses? And they went, oh, never mind. And as the teacher turned, he goes, like that. And you can see, for fuck's sake, I'm going to lose my job. He just walks right out of there.
Just never. I think the secret is not to speak sexual stuff with school children. That's a little. I think that's first day in teacher training college, guys.
It was so nice. I'm just going like that. No, I don't get it. Jesus.
God,
Wonderful.
children own the internet. They have some hilarity. They do some fucking crazy ass stuff. It's
I
they're
love
funny.
it. I
They're
love
funny.
some funny
The
things.
some of the creativity on it for stuff that's so disposable.
Yeah.
It's just to give people a
The
laugh.
other day, I almost died laughing at a girl on Imgur, which is a great site.
Right, okay.
And she just videoed herself with this filter on that made her look a bit chromosome-y, you know?
Right, uh-huh.
And she goes, a dandelion, last one of the season, bit it, then choked it up instantly. And it was that quick.
Yeah.
I laughed for about an hour. I couldn't stop
There's
watching it.
some
I think I
lads-
still have it. I will show you.
There's
It's
some
amazing.
lassies. There's a lassie who does the makeup, and just with makeup,
Yeah.
she makes herself look like Scarface.
Oh, it's
incredible.
incredible.
Stuff.
There's amazing
Some talented people.
But I like the stupidity more than anything.
I was obsessed with one which was Little Monkey, riding on a pig, Little Monkey, and it
That's
was a little
amazing.
pig
That's
with a
great.
monkey.
Great song.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need. But
I
it
love
goes
it.
viral. But this, like that kid Charlie bit my finger. He's now a 40-year-old man,
Still living on it.
still living on it.
Oh.
It's monetarising it, I
We
suppose.
have to go viral.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things we could do.
We're already a virus. I'm actually looking at your face right now. Disturbing enough, but the other day
I
you
cut myself
cut
shaving
yourself. I saw the blood.
in the bath.
Red.
I was drenched.
A little bit of advice: no more pictures of yourself in the bath.
No, well, I didn't show too much.
There
I
was
didn't
more
show
than enough.
I didn't show nipples.
Oh,
There was a
God.
second photograph from a better angle where you could see the tip of my willy poking through the.
Shallow water, eh?
No, it's deep bath, and it's a lot of bubbles. So there was the deepness of the water, and then a good 1.5 feet of bubbles, and it was just reaching out like the Loch Ness monster, like a conger eel,
Ladies and gentlemen,
like
thank
stingray.
you for.
I call my penis Troy Tempest.
Oh Jesus, thank you for joining us.
Marina,
Aquamarina. Oh, that's a great song. My favourite one. I wish I was a spaceman,
Oh.
the fastest guy alive. I'd fly around the universe in Fireball XL5, way up above the stardust, flying high above. Du-du-du-du-du-du. My heart would be a fireball.
I love
Shut up! A fireball every time I stare into your starry eyes.
How romantic.
Eh?
The best thing about Thunderbirds and that,
Yeah.
they were puppets.
Uh-huh.
But when they do something, you'd see human hands. I love that shit. I could watch that all day long.
Wonderful
It'd be
stuff.
better if it was a real action film, but when they saw their hands, they were puppet hands.
Our film.
That's it! That's what we're
gonna
going to do! Oh, I've got like a wooden hand somewhere.
Oh,
So good.
that would be very meta. I like
I've
that.
always wanted to have like a metal hand.
Oh, don't. I'll see what I can make you.
Let's make a metal hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, really going now. Thank you for joining us.
We are
in,
going.
in Folk in Scotland. Number, who knows?
I'm going to say, I've said it before and I'll say it again.
30-somethings.
Wash your balls.
Keep washing.
Keep washing
This
them.
disease has gone nowhere.
No, I need to wash your balls.
Keep clean.
My balls
Stay
are
safe.
so clean. So clean.
Oh, music.
Squeaky clean. Right, let's go out.
Fireball. Exit 5.
Marina.
Aqua.
And bongo, they drink it in the Congo.
Marina was hot.
She was.
Oh my God, those
Silent
eyes.
as well. Mute.
Oh,
You like
wonderful.
those mute women.
Until
Awful.
next time.
Awful.
Laters.
Ta-da.